You're
not a menu, but I'd like to create one with you, with our recipes instead. You are just what I ordered, and you're delicious. Thank you for being you, Nick. You're pretty special. But REKIETA Law has always been special just as it is. It's about time he's appreciated for him. And this is because REKIETA tweeted at Sean, saying that Sean tweets about him more than a jilted woman. And it's like, meanwhile, you guys are, fixated on April IMHOLTE and tweeting, Aaron IMHOLTE and tweeting about him every fucking day. Just stop.
Oh my god, this is wild. So then REKIETA writes, oh man, not far fewer friends, no pal. It's realizing we never had those friends that hurts about the lawyers, right? And she goes, realizing the friends you always had feels pretty good though, and you don't have to get over it. I hear you've got a muzzle for me.
It's so gross, isn't it?
What the Are you insane, guys?
Embarrassing.
How old are they? She's 35, he's 44 or something, 42 or some shit. But Sean's here. Sean, is this... Okay, were you watching that entire thing we were just saying? Is this... This seems to me like it adds to the case.
Sean, you come on and try this.
Sean, please? For a minute? 5 minutes.
Hey.
I'm in shock.
Somebody in chat says they chose their fetishes over their children. Well, that's exactly what happened. It's disgusting. In April, even still, after Kayla got her out of the picture, sent her away from the home, she's living in their other house, most likely. She's still determined to home wreck and destroy this marriage. She just won't let it go. It's just absolutely crazy.
Sean is... maybe he's on Twitter. Hang on, let me just hide my screen. Okay, I want to see if he's, if you're busy, Sean, I understand. Here we go.
Let's just keep going.
Here he goes this way. I've had clients admit to murder, but this is moronic by Nick. He admits he admits everything. Yeah. Alright. Sean, let me know if you want to hop on. Just close that.
Better call Sean. Alright.
I love Sean. He's great.
Okay, and now April's talking about how Patrick Bateman wasn't gay. Being raped is horrific. Patrick Bateman is pretty. He doesn't have to
He's here. He's here.
Okay.
Alright, let's bring him in.
Okay.
We have to at least ask him just 5 minutes, Sean, and let's
5 minutes here is an hour.
Alright, let me make this call 1 sec. Okay. Sean. Care to explain to the class what the fuck is happening? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
It might be, check your voice and video settings there.
Yeah, I normally would push talk when I'm on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, reactor number 4 at the REKIETA plant is melted down all the way.
Oh, yeah.
The bombs are pulled out of the reactor, and there's no whiskey to cool the rods.
Well, speaking of which, Nick REKIETA has gifted 10 subs!
Oh, what's up, Nicky?
Oh.
Okay.
Sean, what are the potential legal ramifications of what Nick put out on Twitter today? This supposedly Aaron's search history.
Yeah.
And Melton saying that he has more than that. What's the ramifications here?
I mean, it all depends on what they have. Do they have access to, credit card numbers? Things like that? Because that's, you've got those, you should have them, you shouldn't be giving them around. Those are always issues. Are there any, hold on here.
He said more than email. He was like...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so are there photos in there? So do we have, are we revenge porning now to get back at the guy who revenge porn? Like I said before, and I tried to tell Nick, when you run around and go crying, the steel-toed man is, you know, when Nick and Kayla go crying to the police about the evil steel toe man, the prosecutor's gonna look at this and say, fuck this, I don't want to deal with it. Because now, let's say Aaron goes to trial, Nick's a witness, because Kayla's gonna come up and Nick will have to come up there and go, he's terrorizing my wife. And they're gonna be like, did you do all this shit? Yeah. Like, you look like the bad guy now. You don't look like the sane, innocent person of, my poor wife is being attacked. Like, now you look like the bad guy, and, you know, probably are the bad guy.
I mean, guy for a while, especially.
No, I know, but this really kind of solidified.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like, a prosecutor doesn't want to mess around with this. They've got crimes where the victims are, like, dealing with really bad people. They're leaving them alone. Like just acting like normal and civilized human beings. They don't have time for this crap. They have real victims of real crimes to deal with. And this is not going to be...
Why wouldn't they wait until they got Aaron convicted on revenge porn before doing this shit? Why?
Well, because they're not sending their best. They're fucking idiots.
Oh, you mean Ralph and Melton aren't the best?
Well, no. Well, Nick isn't sending the best either with himself. I mean, Nick is just... Like, Nick is stomping on the rake as hard as he can, and he's like, oh, joke's on them. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, so...
I've never had a client intentionally just stomp on their balls this hard. I mean, I've had clients do a lot of dumb stuff and keep doing dumb things, but this is a whole new level.
Okay, may I ask you then, from what we've seen, like, this is open and shut, right?
Well, I mean, it all depends on the factual, like, how Nick got access to things, and it sounds like it was Aaron left it open. I don't know exactly how Minnesota considers that. Maybe that is unauthorized access to a computer or to an email, and then you start, and for Nick, that might not be the issue itself, but then he starts doling it out to people. You know, there would be a presumption that he wouldn't want Aaron doing that, or Aaron wouldn't want him to do that. I think that's really where Nick would probably get toast.
Because Aaron said that, he said it seems though he knew for a fact that REKIETA had been sending it out.
Yeah.
Right? And so yesterday we heard Ralph had his DMs subpoenaed. And so it could be found in those DMs, that material from...
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of quiet. There's been a... The thing is, this is, you know, they have time for this. You know, this whole thing started happening, and now they're having to investigate it. If this was in Minneapolis, they probably wouldn't have cared. But they're in Hee-Hawville, Minnesota, so, like, guess what? They've got free time. And this entire universe of lunatics has blown up all over the place. And they don't want to deal with it.
No.
You know, they've got Ralph on there, then they've got, you know, Ralph and Nick are railing on about this fat guy in Ohio, and then these Canadians come out of left field. Yeah.
But Sean, how do you feel? Because Ralph's threatening he's going to have you put in jail, he's going to do this and that. Have you heard the stuff Ralph's been saying?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, if you could manage to do that, I guess I'll be very impressed. But no, like, honestly, though, I don't think Ralph should be... It's a public hearing, and the fact he recorded it, I still think that that's a free speech issue for Ralph. I do think it's bullshit that they did this. Personally, from a level of that, like, you put it out there, that's how that should go.
I think what it is more so is that they're just fucking him because he's inconvenient, right?
He pissed them off more than anything. He pissed them off, and he made himself a problem, so they're not tolerating this. I mean, and that's the thing. These guys, you know, they aren't putting up with it because they can afford not to put up with it. They can afford to focus on this. They can afford to focus on the Dabbleverse. You know, they don't... You know, this has become something for them to have a vested interest in, is this this circus of clowns. And like I said, they're learning about, like, who's this fat guy, and then who are these Canadian dudes. Like, think about how somebody has to draw this out on a chart somewhere.
They were in costumes and everything.
Yeah. So they have to, like, your aliases every time. No, it's just, this is... Yeah, like you said, and you want to own Aaron so bad, you do all this, you know. Oh yeah, I'll show, you know, I want to own Aaron so bad I'll tell everybody that he's tasted my spunk. It's like, that, good, yay! I'll,